Oh, hey, it's me. The loose horsehair that's filling your mouth after you wiped a snotsicle from your nose while grooming your mud beast, Lindsay LaBella. And today we're talking about the big changes coming to Harriet Hollister Spencer State Recreation Area. Wow, that's a mouthful. We're just going to call it Harriet Hollister. And these changes can impact how and when equestrians can ride in the park. A public information meeting was held on March 5th, 2025 to discuss Phase 1 of a proposed multi-use trail system upgrade. This was not a final decision-making meeting, but rather a chance for the community, including equestrians, hikers, mountain bikers, cross-country skiers, birders, and even hang gliders were there to give feedback on what the future of the trail system will look like. If you are an equestrian rider who wants to see legal, well-maintained trails and properly marked trails at the Harriet Hollister Park, this is your chance to get involved. Before we dive into the trail proposal, let's talk about the woman behind the park's name. Harriet Hollister Spencer was a major force in beautification and conservation in this region. Coming from the family that founded the Rochester Lumber Company, she had both the means and the passion to make a lasting impact. She was an advocate for green spaces, a member of the Rochester Garden Club, and deeply involved in the arts. Through her efforts in horticulture, civic improvement, cultural enrichment, she helped shape the aesthetic views of the Rochester area. Her land, which was once a private retreat, was later donated to the state in 1962 after her death, ensuring that its beauty could be shared with the public. And since then, Harriet Hollister Park has grown in size with several massive land acquisitions into the prime outdoor recreation space for hiking, biking, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, and unofficially horseback riding. So why are these changes happening now? Well, there was a recent emergency situation that highlighted the park's biggest flaw: a chaotic, unmarked trail system. A park goer needed emergency services but couldn't clearly communicate their location due to all those unofficial trails and copious intersections and lack of signage. This delayed their rescue, forcing the park manager, Jeffrey James, to take action. He reached out to the DEC for help, and now we're in Phase 1 of the trail proposal. Harriet Hollister has dozens, probably even more, unofficial crisscrossing trails that have formed over decades of use by all of us hikers, bikers, skiers, and riders. The DEC's plan is to consolidate those, improve, and officially designate trails to create a safer, more sustainable, multi-use trail system. Some key points from this meeting. The proposal is looking for marked and maintained trails, a structured, mapped system to prevent confusion. Trails will be built to accommodate multiple user groups, including equestrians. And they want to eliminate all the unnecessary trails. There are literally redundant paths. You can be on one trail, 5 feet from you, you're like, oh, look, another trail. Literally. The redundancy needs to go. And now, the biggest question on everybody's mind. What about the horseback riding? Where do we stand? Right now, horseback riding is not, I repeat, not officially allowed at Harriet Hollister Park, despite the fact that riders have been using these trails for years. However, there is a strong interest at the meeting to making sure the equestrian access is included in the new trail system. I know. You're saying, well, I've ridden there for years and just now they're telling us we can't ride. You can blame some unsavory guests at the park for that one. The reason why we are now getting noticed is because of increased police traffic at the park due to some nefarious folks that have decided that it's a great place to do, we're going to say unsavory, again, events. Think drugs, think, a little Netflix and chill without the Netflix. Anyhow, I've got good news. The New York State Horse Council president, Pauline Burns, was actually at attendance at this meeting. And if you don't know who she has successfully worked with the DEC in the past to open and maintain horse-friendly trails at tons of other parks across New York, specifically the Chautauqua County Trail System. If you guys are in Western New York and want to see what the work that she can do, go check out those trails. I will put links in this episode so you can see what they're all about. But for all the good work that the New York State Horse Council does, they alone cannot speed up this process. At the meeting, mountain biking and cross-country skiing groups immediately stood up and volunteered to help with trail improvements. That is the kind of energy and commitment we need from the equestrian community. If we want these trails to have, we need to show up. Okay, so what happens next? What is this process? We are in phase one. Phase one, they reviewed the trail system. They came up with their own viewpoints of what trails they want to keep, what ones they want to eliminate. We have until April 1st to review that map and say, not happening. I want to keep this trail versus this one that you have marked. So we are looking for comments on specifically trail usage on what we would like to see kept. If you have useful information like GPS tracking from times that you've visited, they would like that kind of data. They want to know information about what kind of trail footing do you like? Is there a direction of travel that would be easier? Horses like to go uphill faster than downhill. So maybe we have directional signage for trail traffic. That way we're meeting nose to tail versus nose to nose on a trail. Or in this case, since they are multi-use, so we don't meet up with bikers coming from, weird directions. That's the kind of information they're looking for. That's the kind of information they want, and they are collecting until April 1st. So what happens after April 1st? Right now, the DEC is open to adding horseback riding trails to the trail system improvements. But we just can't start clearing and marking trails. Before any physical work happens, the proposal then has to go to the State Environmental Quality Review, or SEQRA. This process is not quick, and here's why. SEQRA ensures that any project affecting public land is carefully examined for environmental impact. This means that before a single shovel hits the ground, the DEC has to assess and document soil stability. Can the trail actually handle the weight of horse traffic year-round, especially in wet areas? Water drainage and wetland protection. Harriet Hollister has lots of low-lying areas that collect water, which are essential for breeding grounds for amphibians and other wildlife. Any trail work needs to balance human use with environmental preservation. Trail durability. Unlike hikers and bikers, horses require a more stable and erosion-resistant trail surface. Some existing trails might not meet the durability standards for equestrian use unless reinforced. And wildlife impact. Any modifications to the trail system need to consider local wildlife patterns and avoid habitat destruction. And this review can take months, if not longer. The DEC needs to collect the data, analyze impact, and issue findings before the plan can be moved forward. And if any concerns arise, then additional studies or modifications might be required. Until that study is completed and approved, no official trails can be opened or worked on. While the equestrian community is ready and willing to help right now, the best thing you can do is stay patient, stay informed, and prepare to take action once we're given the green light. And when we get that approval, we need boots on the ground. We need many hands to make light work, and here are the key areas where you can help. Trail reinforcement. It could include adding gravel, boardwalks, drainage to create a sustainable riding surface. Clearing and marking trails. Official trails will need to be brush cleared, proper signage, designated entry points, direction, all to keep user groups safe and organized. The mountain bikers and cross-country skiers have already stepped up to offer manpower. We need equestrians to match that effort when called upon. I was very impressed at how civil and inclusive this meeting was. No blaming, no name-calling, no defensive postures. Just individuals that love the park and want to make sure everyone has the chance to enjoy it equally. So how can you help now? If you're not a member, consider joining the New York State Horse Council. Your dues go to help lobby for horse-friendly trails across the state. I witnessed my dues in action, and I am happy to know that people like Pauline are there to be a voice for us in the community. One other takeaway I wanted to let you guys know about tonight is the fact that they are willing to work with us and try to do this in smaller sections. Their proposal is for over 9 miles of trail. And if they can work on small sections at a time and open up little bits, instead of doing the thing as a whole, they are going to work to do that. So it might be possible that you will start to see work on this happen as early as a year, but don't be alarmed if the entire project could take 5 to 10 years to finish. It's slow. Be patient. Thank you for listening in today. Help spread the word by liking and sharing this episode. Better yet, make sure you leave a 5-star review and subscribe. Well, that's a wrap. As always, respect the trail, wear a helmet, join the New York State Horse Council, and volunteer when needed. Happy trails.